In this question, we are solving for angle X in the following triangle. When I look at this diagram, I see that there is a square in the corner showing that it is a right angle. I have a side of 61 meters, a side of 45 meters, and we are trying to find angle X. So when I'm choosing a method, the first question I ask myself is this a right angle triangle? And the answer is yes. The second question I ask myself is, do I know two sides? The answer to that question is also yes, which normally means that I would use Pythagorean theorem. But Pythagorean theorem does not work for angles. It only works for sides. So unfortunately, I cannot use Pythagorean theorem in this question because we are solving for an angle. That means that I'm going to use either the sine, cos, or tan ratio. So I'm going to write out SOHCAHTOA to help me try to figure out what ratio to use. So first, I'm going to try to label using O, H, and A, or opposite, hypotenuse, and adjacent. Across from that right angle is the hypotenuse. Now, across from the angle that we are looking for is going to be my opposite. And then the one beside that angle is my adjacent. This time, when I'm looking at it, the side that I do not know anything about is the opposite. So I am going to eliminate any of the ratios that use O for the opposite. And that leaves me with cosine. So we are going to say that cosine of angle A is A adjacent over H hypotenuse. Now our angle A is the angle that we do not know, it's X. So we're going to say cosine of X equals adjacent 45 over hypotenuse 61. Now, in the previous questions, when I had a fraction, I cross-multiplied. But X is not part of the fraction this time. X is part of this other side that has the cosine. So all I really need to do is just find a way to eliminate a cosine. So the opposite operation of a cosine is the inverse cosine. So we are going to do the inverse cosine of both sides to eliminate that cosine. And I will be left with X equals the inverse cosine of 45 over 61. Now, if you see what you type in on the screen, you just type in exactly what you see there. But on my calculator, I don't. So I have to do the division part first. So I'm going to do a bracket and then 45 divided by 61, close my bracket, and then I do shift cosine, and I get 42.46 degrees. The next number is a 3, which means we're going to stay at 4.6. This is 42.46. So X is approximately 42.46. Now the side lengths are all measured in meters, but this is an angle, so it is in degrees. So our final answer is 42.46 degrees.